I'm back with another peek at our 30-day business transformation program. If you missed the last few videos, go check those out because I am sharing sneak peeks into the classes in this program each week for 7 weeks. Today, we're taking a look at a segment from module number 5, Know Your Numbers. So grab your free worksheet download in the description and take a peek. Welcome back for day 22 of your 30-day business transformation. It is time to set your prices. Notice we're almost entirely through this program before we're doing this, and there's a reason for that. It's not something to arbitrarily choose. If you charge $70 an hour and I ask you why you charge that, if your response is something to the effect of everybody else in the area charges around that, or my clients seem happy with it, or anything like that, it's an arbitrary number, which means it doesn't hold water. This number needs to be based on data. So that's what we're doing here. Scrap whatever price point it is right now because it's not important. We're going to look at the factors that are. And that includes your minimal annual personal income needs, max sessions per month, average monthly expenses, desired business profit, and any max potential discounts. Now, we're coming up with one price that sets the parameters for all your other services. If you have more complex services, especially those that might use a lot of products, you'll want to factor that direct cost in and add it to the final price that we come up with here. So either pick your most popular service or pick the time frame that's most popular. If we set a good price for this, then that pricing structure can feed into all the other services that you offer. So for example, if in this exercise you come up with $100 for an hour massage, then that means your 30-minute will be $50 and your 90 minutes will be $150 at minimum. Make sense? We're keeping things simple and streamlined here, so don't overthink this. So to let you calculate this a lot easier, let's look over at the calculator I have on the website that will figure out what your pricing should be. You'll see the formula laid out in your workbook if you'd rather do the math yourself or just have it for reference. But over on that calculator, you're going to punch in your numbers regarding minimum annual personal income, max sessions per month, average monthly expenses, your desired business profit, so what the business keeps after expenses, taxes, your pay, all of that stuff is taken out, and any future potential discounts. Minimum annual personal income is how much you need to make to keep your personal bills paid and live comfortably. Remember, this is pre-tax, so you'll want to shoot actually a little above what you actually need to make to account for the taxes that you're going to pay, depending on your business structure, household income, all that jazz. So typically, you shoot for about 20 to 25% over your actual needs to account for the tax. But of course, it varies widely depending on your own situation. So that's total ballpark estimate as to how much is going to tax, but it will suffice. Max sessions per month is how many of those sessions do you want to see? How many can your body handle? How many is kind of your goal as for those work hours that you're now tracking? Average monthly expenses being just what they sound like. How much in expenses do you have to pay every month to keep your business operating? Forget to include the amount going over to taxes on this. Then your desired business profit, so what's left for the business entity after your expenses, taxes, your personal income, all that stuff is paid. How much is left in retained earnings for the business as profit? And then your max potential discount. So some of you won't discount ever at all, some of you might, but we want to factor this in because people really start to eat into their profit margins when they keep discounting large amounts or even small amounts, but repeatedly. So that potential for a discount should be factored in when setting your pricing to start so that regardless, you're making plenty on each session. This isn't saying you're going to discount regularly. This is just making sure that if or when you do discount, you're in no way hurting your bottom line. So use that calculator and that gives you a base price to start with. For this example, we're saying I want $50,000 a year in personal income, and I'm going to bump that up to $62,500 to account for taxes. My max session per month is 80 because I like staying around 20 clients per week. My average monthly expenses are only about $800. I want to retain $500 a month in business profit to save up for this or that investment or improvement for the business. And I won't be offering any more than a $10 discount at any time. That puts me at $91.35 per massage that I should be charging to get all of that covered. But I also want you to take into account a few other things. Your competition, your education and experience, how booked out you are, your client experience, and your ideal client's household income relative to cost of living. Remember coming up with all this stuff? Yeah, now's where we're going to put it to use again. You have your base amount that fulfills your needs based on the numbers that you've now worked up. Look at you getting your numbers worked up. But how do we put those, these sorts of things into a dollar amount? There's no black and white way to do it, but here's a simple way that might help. We're going to rate each one of those on a scale of 1 to 5. So you'll see in your workbook that you've got a section to fill out here. You're going to rate your business from 1 to 5 in these categories. Your competition analysis, so on a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you stand out from the competition? 1 being, you're offering the very same thing everybody else is, and 5 being you are the only one in a 50-mile radius who offers your awesome abilities. Your education and experience, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate that compared to your competition and what clients can find elsewhere? 1 being you are fresh out of school and limited to no experience and training beyond the basics, and 5 being you have been in this a long time and or you have taken a whole bunch of classes and training that have solidified your skills. How booked out are you? On a scale of 1 to 5, how hard is it to get in with you? 1 being your schedule is wide open and can even take same-day appointments on a regular basis, and 5 being that you're booked out weeks or months in advance. Then your client experience. On a scale of 1 to 5, what's your client experience like compared to other places around town? 1 being your client experience workup is the same as pretty much everybody else, and 5 being it is over the top spectacular and they feel extremely pampered from the time they walk in to the time they leave. And lastly, your ideal client's household income relative to their cost of living. So in other words, do they seem to have a good chunk of disposable income? So 1 being, nope, things are pretty slim margins, but they can still afford massage. And 5 being they're rolling in it and money is absolutely no barrier to them. Now that you have those rated, for each point that you gave a category, I want you to add 50 cents to $1 to your price point. So if you landed on $90 as your base price and you've rated these, your competition analysis 3, your education experience a 1, how booked out you are a 2, your client experience a 3, your ideal client's household income relative to cost of living a 3. That's a total of 12, which means I'm going to add $6 to $12 to my base price, which lands me at $96 to $102 per session. To keep it simple, I'd probably land at $100. The reason I do this is because you should be charging more for the uniqueness and special qualities that you offer. And it's kind of hard to put a dollar amount on them. So this is what we do. Again, the numbers matter first, and then it's the considerations that help fine-tune and get you a bit more robust number to fit for the uniqueness you offer too. Now I want you to go back through and do this exact same thing to figure out another price point, the 10-year goal. We're tying this back to that business vision you developed a few modules back. If you set an income goal, you want to cut back on your hours or whatever it may be, make some estimates as to what this would look like in all of these categories, the numbers and these other considerations. Then plug it all in and figure out what your price point would roughly need to be to support that. You've now not only set the price you need to be at currently, but you've also set the goal price you need to work your way up to, which can give you a great indication as to the goals you need to set in other areas to get you there. So take a few minutes and go back to that vision if you need and hash out a few more things. All right, for many of you, it's likely that first price point, the one that fits for now, means a price increase for your business. So how do you go about that? You do it. Don't freak out. Again, reach out, post to the group, do what you need to do to get in touch, and let me help you through this process. But there's a few things to consider. Number 1, if it's a big jump from your current price, do you raise it all at once or do you smaller increases over a period of time? It really depends, and I'm honestly not going to say it's one way or the other that's right here. I think one of the biggest factors is your current client load. So how far out are you booking, like solidly booking? Not that you have 2 appointments on a schedule 6 weeks from now because those 2 clients have a standing appointment or something, but you're solidly booked and can't get anyone in for 6 weeks. That's what I'm talking about. The farther out you're booking solid, the bigger I think your price jumps can be. The disposable income of your clientele can also speak to this. The more disposable income they have, the larger your jump can be. Now, point number 2, people are always worried, what if I lose clients? I get it. But if you need to make that certain amount to keep all your bills paid and live comfortably, then clients who can't pay that or aren't willing to pay that in exchange for what you're providing, Those are not your ideal clients, and they've just opened up space for people who are. But really, the vast majority of people I know who raise their prices, they see very little, if any, client loss, even with big jumps. So I know it's scary, but you have a business to run, and even charities got to pay their bills and pay their staff well. Point number 3, how far in advance do you tell them? 6 weeks is generally plenty of time to give everyone ample notice of the price increase. Change over all your marketing materials, change it on your website and your booking software and all the places. So I wouldn't do much more than 6 weeks. I think that's plenty, and it gives people plenty of time to process. All it takes is a simple notification in your communications. You send out an email blast to everyone notifying them of the upcoming change on this date. Put a little notice in your reminder emails that prices are changing on this date. Put something up on your website and out on social media, and that's it. And please, 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 don't justify it. Don't say, I took this class and Savannah said I had to, or my expenses have gone up, or whatever. You don't need excuses. Just, these are the new prices. This is the date it goes into effect. Let me know if you have any questions. Period. Done. Again, your business, not their best friend who can share all the behind-the-scenes happenings of your finances. This is what it is. Now it's time to go through all those services you came up with in the branding module and set your pricing for each one based on this base price that you figured out. This session pricing should translate into those timeframes pretty readily, but feel free to reach out if you want to brainstorm some specifics with me. Thank you so much for watching today. If you want to sign up for the program and see more of what's included, I will link that below. Be sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms, sign up for our emails, join our Facebook group, and keep an eye out for updates, business tips, free content, and all kinds of other goodies to help you grow your massage practice. See you next time.